Time to talk about myself. Yeah. Welcome back to Topic Talk. I'm TK Breezy, where you seek it, I speak it. Now, today's Topic Talk is pretty special. I seem like a lot of questions about, me. You know, a lot of people wanted to ask questions about me. So, this Topic Talk is mostly going to be about me and a bunch of, my life. And then we'll use the next Topic Talk to use the rest of the questions that I didn't get a chance to answer this time. So, first up is from SSB Lieutenant Heartless, who says, I actually want to know more about you. Where did you grow up and what was it like growing up for you? I don't know, small life story type deal is, I was born in Hawaii, and I lived there for 7 years, and then, but my parents got divorced when I was 4, so I lived in Hawaii for 7 years with my mom, and then from that point on, I spent 2 years with each of my parents. Both my parents were in the Army until my dad got out when I was 10, and he stayed in Maryland, but my mom was still in the Army until I was I don't know, she still works for the military now, she's just a civilian. So I bounced between Maryland, Virginia, and North Carolina for most of my life. But it sucked because of the way that it worked out is that so I would live with my mom for 2 years. Then I moved my dad for 2 years. But then on that third year, my mom would move to another spot, right? She would be in a different area. So then when I go back, I'm in a wholly different area than before. And so I live with my mom in North Carolina, live with my dad in Maryland, live with my mom in Virginia, live with my dad in Maryland, live with my mom in North Carolina. And then we realized when I got to ninth grade that the way the split was going to be was that I was going to be ninth grade with my mom, 10th, 11th with my dad, and then 12th with my mom again. And I was like, look, I just want to go to the same school for high school because I just don't want to be the new kid in 12th grade. And they were like, all right. So they agreed to let me stay with my mom for high school. So that was cool. But the issue was that when I was 7, my mom married my abusive stepdad, and they were together for 10 years. And he was abusive to us first, but I'm pretty sure he was abusive to my mom. I just didn't realize it because I was too young. But after a while, I did see it. By the time I was 14, 15 or 12, 13, I could hear it. You know what I'm saying? I can hear them arguing in their rooms. I can hear all the, the abusiveness. But my stepdad is the reason why I feel like my self-confidence is so low, even though it shouldn't be. It's because I spent a lot of time in my growing years, one, being talked down on, and 2, being compared to other kids around me that were better in school. And they weren't even better in school, they just actually did their homework. I'm smart. I know I'm smart. I aced every test without doing homework. I didn't study, none of that shit. I just didn't like homework. So my grades were never reflective of whatever their grades were because they did homework and I didn't. And so yeah, it was a lot. Why can't you be more like this kid? Why can't you be more like this kid? Whatever. And it was a lot of times where I felt like I wouldn't get any attention from my parents if I was doing the right thing. So even if I was getting A's and B's and all that other good shit, they wouldn't talk to me. But if I did bad stuff, then they would notice me. And so there was a lot of negative lashing out from me that will result in me getting attention from my parents, which I don't know, man. When I look back on it, it is really fucked up. And it's not I don't know. It's been something that whenever I have children, I want to be very cognizant of that. Once they do good things, they get praised instead of it being all right, whatever, good job, I guess. But as soon as they do something bad, it's I have all the time in the world for you. You know what I'm saying? So, growing up before my abusive stepdad was cool, I guess. My dad's not really the greatest father figure either. He's kind of selfish in a way, and I think that my relationships with both my parents are pretty severed, but I'm closer to my mom than anybody else. It took us a while. We had to go to some therapy and stuff to work on the issues because I felt when I was younger and before they got married, I did mention that we were already getting abused, but I think because I was so young that she didn't I don't know, she didn't believe me or something. I don't know how to explain it, but we as a kid, I just didn't feel protected. I felt like my parents were failing me. I had to like kind of go through like the world, or I had to go through like shit on my own, you know what I'm saying? So which made me like very independent. Like when I moved out when I was 19 and never went back, you know? And like there's been times that I've struggled, but I never wanted to go back. Like I just, you know, just never, like I felt like I had to be on my own. So me and my mom ended up going to therapy about it like near the time that they finally got divorced or whatever. And it took a long time for us to like even get to the point where we are now. Like we talk a lot more, like, you know, stuff like that. But for most of like my 20s, like I didn't like talking to either one of my parents. So, yeah, man. It's not like a sob story though. It's more so just like this is what happened to me, you know? And like, yeah, it sucks, but like I'm still alive. So, like I'm happy for that. I do think that it's definitely instilled some bad habits in me. Like I feel like I'm always in this like this area of needing to like prove myself, when I feel like I shouldn't have to prove myself to everyone. Like, you know, and I also feel like I have this like want to be like loved and accepted by like everyone, when honestly like you're just not going to be able to do that. Like people just will not like you for whatever reason, and like you just have to deal with that, you know what I'm saying? And that's just been a long lesson that I've been trying to learn like throughout like the years of, one, being like in this commentary spotlight, but two, just being a human being, you know what I'm saying? Like people like people finally like people finally like just, you know, people will always just not like you, you know what I'm saying? Like there's not just stuff you can't just do anything about that. So you just gonna have to like move on, you know what I'm saying? Oh, you don't like me? Damn, that sucks. So, all right. So I mean that's pretty much the gist of my life story. Like I grew up in Hawaii, moved around a lot, settled in Maryland for 10 years, and that's why I ended up being in Xanadu a lot. And then moved back to North Carolina, which is where I am now because it's cheap, and now I'm about to move to Texas. So that's, you know, that's a pretty big that's pretty, you know, that's pretty normal. Or that's pretty like much it. So let me find the other part of the question because I'm missing. I keep moving the thing and I don't see the other question. I'm stupid. All right, here we go. Top. The other question was from Lancer FGC. Says you might have talked about it already, but I wanted to hear about your mental health journey. All right. So I feel like I've been depressed for like a long time and I just didn't really know. Like, okay, so black parents, like, it's grown up black parents don't believe in depression. You know what I'm saying? It's just like that. I don't know, like in my time at the very least, black parents didn't believe in depression. Like it's just, you know, man up, go to work, do whatever. But yeah, so yeah, like it's like I didn't really identify it well until like I got out of my living situation, and now I'm like more aware of it. But I feel like I've been depressed since like at least like the middle of like middle school. You know what I'm saying? Before I was diagnosed with ADHD, and I was on Ritalin at first because I was like what was the hot thing in middle school, and then Adderall. But Adderall made me feel like a zombie. So I stopped taking that, and I just kind of like went through school like that, ADHD bound, whatever happens, you know what I'm saying? After that, you know, I started working for the government, and that wasn't like really good for my mental health either, because like after high school, they got me a job with the government, but everybody that worked around me was like 50 up, and I was like 20, and so we didn't really have much to bond on. So I felt like alone at my job as well. So that sucked too. So my first attempt at like getting help, I was looking for therapists. I mean, I'm jumping in ground floor. I'm looking at 22. I'm looking for therapists, and all this other good stuff. And like everything is like, oh, you need to be referred to by a doctor, but all this other good stuff. And I just like, I couldn't find it. And so like I'm in my car, like in front of my house, just like crying profusely because like I'm trying to get help, but it's impossible to get. And I was like in my car just crying for like an hour straight. And then eventually I was like, all right, man, I feel like I need to go check myself in. I didn't think I was going to do anything to myself, but I just feel like I needed to go check myself in. So like I went to go check myself into a hospital. They asked me if I was suicidal. I said, I don't think so. And then they were like, well, the earliest appointment we can get you into a psychiatrist is February. Keep in mind, this is like November or like actually late October. So like, that doesn't feel good to hear that like I'm in the point where I feel like I needed to check into a hospital and y'all can't see me for 4 fucking months. Like, you know what can happen in 4 months? Like if I wasn't suicidal already, I could have been. So eventually, like I found out about this, like, you know, this like one of these areas where like you call, you know, if you are suicidal, and they'll like see you the day of or whatever. So, and it's like free and whatever. And I was like, all right, cool. So I'm just gonna do that. You know, I had to lie about being suicidal. I'll go in there, and I was like, yeah, man, I'm not really suicidal. Like this is the only way I can get help. But like I feel like I've had these like issues with like my mood, my self-esteem, all that other good stuff for like literal years. Like there's points in time where I just couldn't get out of bed because like I just couldn't. And so they put me on Effexor, and that worked for like 2 weeks, but then Effexor also made me feel like a zombie. So I was like, all right, man, I'm good on this. So I stopped doing that too, and I was just like, all right, fuck it, like it's never gonna work. So I was in like 23, and I didn't really do anything about my depression for like the rest of the time up until like maybe like a year and a half ago. So basically until I turned 30, I didn't try to tackle it at all. And by the time I turned 30, I was just tired of feeling like shitty, you know? And so like I found out about Amwell, and they're like online psychiatrists, therapists, all that other good stuff. And this is good because obviously we're in quarantine anyway, so I couldn't really do it any other way. And they helped in some ways, but like I still have some other stuff that I need to tackle. So I think that overall my demeanor has been higher. Like I think that I've been happier. Like I'm on 3 different types of meds. I'm on Lexapro, I'm on bupropion, I'm on Seroquel for potential bipolarness. And I feel like overall, like this combination it's like lifted my mood, or lifted my base mood. You know, like I don't think that I'm like always happy. I don't wake up and I don't like hop out of bed and, you know, start kicking the day's ass or whatever. But like I'm also not just sitting in bed all day like sad, you know, like can't move, none of that good stuff. So one part of it's been tackled of my general mood throughout the day, but the other part that has not been tackled, which I didn't even like realize until recently, is that I just don't have the self-confidence that I should have. Like I don't love myself, and I feel like I've put all of the love that I should have put in myself into other people because it makes me feel good to see other people happy. But like that, I should be able to find my own happiness without other people. I should be able to look at myself in a better light without the approval of other people. And I haven't got there yet. So I'm still working on that. That's something that's like new at Revelation. I actually had a friend kind of point that out to me, that like I have a very like bad I guess like a victim complex. Like I feel like, you know, everything's out to get me, and like it really isn't like that. It's just sometimes it feels like that, but like it isn't like that. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just it's like 1 or 2 people that like don't like me, and I'm like, wow, no one likes me. But like realistically, like that's just not true. I know that's not true, but here I am still feeding into it. So the few things that I'm trying to work on now is that like I just want to have more confidence in myself without like bringing anything else up. Just, you know, confidence in Terrence, not TK Breezy, just Terrence. Like how is Terrence without commentary, without Twitter followers, without the stream, all of that good stuff. I'm just trying to like fight. I'm trying to get back into that. That says, I wonder how this ties in your childhood, moving around a long time and needing to adapt to new environments every few years. I'm sure that that's part of it. That's part of it. It was like, there's a lot of, like, I think that's one good thing I am good at, is like I can adapt very well. But the fact that I had to adapt so much at a young age probably did suck. Yeah, you were the friend. Yes. Probably did suck, but like, yeah, I can't carry that forever. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, like my childhood sucked, whatever, right? Move on. My childhood happened 10 whole years ago. I can't just carry that through the rest of my life. And I should have been trying to tackle those issues like literally right after I got out of my parents' house. So right now I gotta focus on like me. And that's not to say that like I'm just gonna like not talk to my friends or anything or not be there for y'all, but like I need to be there for me first. So like if I can't be there for me first, I can't be there for y'all, basically. Is what is like the mantra that like I need to like pick up. So I don't know, man, it's hard because like I haven't really like looked into like helping myself like that. I've looked into helping my overall mood, but I never looked at helping my overall thought process on life. So I'm trying that, man. Like, I don't know, it's gonna take some time. Like, like I've been going about this wrong for like 30 years or 31 years now. So I'm working on it. I'm like tearing up too, so I'm sorry. Cause man, it's like I don't know. I feel like I don't tell y'all this much stuff about my life. So I don't know, like I never like gave y'all the window inside, but yeah, basically I need to work on me. So and I will do that at some point. I will do that not at some point in time. I do that now. Like I just have to find the correct path to being happy for me without the validation of others. And that's gonna take a little bit, but I'm sure that there's a way that I'll find that. Anyway, the last question that we have for today, if I can find it again. It was a question about like, what would I tell myself 10 years ago? But let me go ahead and find it completely so that way I don't miss out on what it says. Okay, always appreciate reflection time. This is from Jiggly P53. He says, I always appreciate reflection topics. Have a conversation you would have if you were able to sit down with yourself 10 years ago and reflect on who you were then and everything you know now. I'm sure the younger generation would appreciate the wisdom. See, the issue is 10 years ago, I know I wouldn't listen to me now, which fucking sucks. But 10 years ago, I think I would have told myself that like being liked by everyone is just not going to happen. Like that's not a realistic goal, you know? Not everyone's gonna like you. People will literally find the dumbest reason to hate you. Like someone can hate me because I wore a red shirt and they don't like the color red, you know? Whatever. Like what am I supposed to go do? Put on a different shirt? Like I can't, like you can't control that. And the other thing would have been like to not make women such like a main focus of your life. I love women. I think women are great, but like I feel like I spend a lot of time trying to like chase women, trying to like be what, be accepted and loved by women, like have a bunch of women liking me and shit. And I was like, that I didn't need that, like I can definitely have women as friends. I love, like, I enjoy having women as friends more than men because I feel like women have more interesting things to talk about. Like 99% of the time, you know what I'm saying? But like, yeah, I just feel like I did a lot of like thirsting, a lot of chasing, a lot of like, trying to get them draws, all that good shit. And I just wasn't like, that shouldn't have been my focus in life, at the young age. So, and And yeah, that just wasn't, I don't know, that just wasn't a good, it wasn't a good like jumping off base for adult life. So that would have been my 2 cents is, hey man, like everyone's not gonna like you, you know, but like it's fine, you know what I'm saying? Like if you like you, then you know, there it is. If you like you, then there it is. And like I wish I would have learned that at an earlier age. So yeah, look, I'm only 30. I know it seems like I always say that I'm like really old, but like I could live to like 90. You know what I'm saying? I live to 100. Who knows, right? So even if I am 30 now and I do live to 90, I still have 60 years to better myself. I've only lived 1/3 of my current life. You know what I'm saying? If I live that long, I still got 60 whole years to better myself. And yeah. So yeah, that's homegirl saying a lot. We talked, me and homegirl have talked, or homeboy in the chat, but it's homegirl. We've talked a lot about this extensively because she was the one who pointed out to me like the flaws and like the errors of stuff that I couldn't see myself, and like I appreciate her immensely for that, because like, you know, if your friends ain't gonna call you out, man, who is? You know what I'm saying? So like it definitely made me kind of reflect on like how I've been like carrying myself and being like, all right, I definitely need to change the way that I view the world, view myself, and all that other good stuff. So yeah, man, if you start to see like a difference, then good, you know, but it's what I need to see the difference. So it's really more so about like me being able to see that like, all right, my mindset has changed. The way that I deal with stuff has changed. The way that like I carry myself has changed. This whole thing with the whole commentary thing, like that should have never happened. You know what I'm saying? I should have never responded to that dude. Like I'm in a spot where like it doesn't matter what he thinks about commentary. Like I have made it. You know what I'm saying? I'm in a spot where like I'm happy with what I've done. So it doesn't matter what someone who is not where I'm at, you know, feels. You know what I'm saying? Like now, I feel like that's a lot of that's just the one instance of me like defending myself in a way where like I just didn't have to, and that's something that I'm going to be trying to cut back on a lot. Like I shouldn't have to defend myself over the work that I'm happy for, you know? Like I like what I do. There it is. I like what I do, period. Like, you know what I'm saying? I like what I do, period. Like that's it. And like, but that's the aspect that's like, that's the small aspect of what I really want to accomplish. And it's like, I like what I do, but I want to like me, you know? So once I can start saying like, I like me and really mean it, then that's when I know that the work is really working. So yeah, that was pretty heavy. So anyway, welcome. Thanks for watching the topic talk. If you learn anything about me, then cool. If you see yourself in the things that I'm talking about, then hey, let's go on this journey together, man. Like, you know, if you are feeling as though like your self-confidence has not been where it should be, or that you don't see yourself in the positive light that you should, let's go on this journey together, man. You know, let's hit some positive affirmations. Let's figure out ways to be happier in our own skin, you know? Because that's what I'm going to be doing for the next few months, years, decades. I don't know. I just want to be happier in my own skin. So thanks for watching. If you like what you see, then you know, drop a like, comment below. I will put all this in a playlist. Someone asked me in my last comments to put this in a playlist, and I didn't do that. So all the topic talks will now go on a playlist very soon, and I'll link the playlist in the below. So yeah, drop a like, comment, and I'll see you in the next topic talk. Peace.